At the time that this video drops, I'm just 36 hours away from seeing Deadpool Wolverine, and that has a lot of significance to do with the books on this list, the Cover Price Top 10 for this week. Up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hello, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. And before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out the description of this video for my Instagram, whatnot, eBay store email. And we're going to go into the Cover Price Top 10 list. Cover Price, a comic book pricing service that I use. I have a subscription for. They don't pay me. I pay them, actually. But every week they come up with a top 10 list of the 10 books that have been moving the most in the comic book aftermarket. These are not the new books selling right off the shelves, but books that are popular, and often it's driven by speculation or news concerning movies and TV, and this week is no exception. Now, not all the books are related to that, but we will see some commonalities as we go through it. And one thing that Cover Price does is they aggregate data on sales for both raw and graded books. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. Into the list, and let's go. No surprise, this was number 1 last week. It drops down to number 10 this week. It is Hulk number 1, the first cover appearance of the Red Hulk. He doesn't appear in the story until issue number 2. This is from 2008, and we saw, I guess most of us, if you're watching this, probability is that you saw the trailer for Captain America Brave New World. I always have to remember which title it is since they changed it. In which Harrison Ford, portraying Thunderbolt Ross after the death of William Hurt, becomes the Red Hulk. This book's been specced upon forever. Now, here's something that I find very interesting. If we look at the cover price, it is a $90 book raw, over $300 for a 9.8. And what's interesting, if we look at the historical data, right, this was maybe about 100. Yeah, it was climbing well over $100. Maybe there was some speculation because remember, Captain America, the Sam Wilson Captain America film, originally entitled New World Order, has been long delayed. This was supposed to be out a long time ago, but COVID and the strikes have pushed it back. So there was some news about it and some speculation that Red Hulk would come. And then all of a sudden we saw the comic boom and it jumped up to nearly $500. And then it cooled down to about $200. And then it's jumped back up in June, close to $500. And it's been kind of settling in the $300+ range. So this is a book, again, largely driven by speculation. If we look at the, and here, this is something I think that's kind of interesting for a reasonably recent book, 2008, 4,300 copies on the census, 40% of them are 9.8s. And then there's another 1,300 9.6s and a lot of 9.4s and even 9.2s, 9.0s. And the reason for that is when this book really started to gain popularity and gain momentum, it had value in 9.6, 9.4, 9.2, 9.0, and graded. Let's look at a 9.2 historically. Oop, there we go. I need to drop down to a 9. I just want to take a look at a 9.2 of this book, and this is kind of, you know, people look at this. The 9.2 up to $152 during the boom. It's actually kind of met that $145 sale recently, $165 sale. You know, it kind of had drifted down to under 100. So even though, you know, it's really recent, it's still, this surprises me. This is the first time I'm looking at this part of the data, that it is holding value in the lower 9s, let's say. And if we look at the explanation, released the first trailer a little over a week ago. A lot of rumors were confirmed, the biggest which was related to Red Hulk's appearance. While absent for most of the trailer, Red Hulk appears briefly in the final seconds. Not much information was given about Thaddeus Ross's journey to the Red Behemoth, but the tease was enough to reignite the hype. Red Hulk's first appearance is once again trending. I would recommend reading this. It's an interesting read, and I wonder how much of it may play out in how they're going to portray the character, at least what his motivations for becoming the Hulk are. And if Bruce Banner is involved in the storyline at all. You know, I said, we talk about Deadpool, Wolverine, and Hulk. I'll get to that later because, yeah, I can. Number 9 on the list is Deadpool #1 from 1997. This is his first ongoing series and the first appearance of Blind Al, amongst others. T-Ray and cannon fodder. Leslie Uggams' portrayal as Blind Al has been a fan favorite in the Deadpool movies, and I'm sure that's going to continue in this film. And this book, you got to pay $30 some odd and up to mid 200s in a 9.8. Let's take a look at the historical trend of this book. And this book has, always been pricey. What I find interesting, and it might be just there were fewer of them, because this is from what year? 96. Marvel was on the skids. 2,500 copies on the census. More 9.6s than 9.8s. Interestingly, a dark cover. Maybe that says something about it. That this is worth more than like this Deadpool Circle Chase, which is his first miniseries. And that's an embossed cover, which you really can't press. At any rate, we look at the sales values, and it's, it early on. I mean, Deadpool 1 kind of pushed this over a $200 book, and it really never retreated lower than like $150, which is very interesting for a modern book. And this also is when Joe Kelly started doing the writing on this, which changed the character more into the fourth wall breaking, wisecracking character that Ryan Reynolds portrays. Number 8 on the list, Nova #1 from 1976, the first appearance of Richard Rider as Nova. Kind of probably inspired by a little bit by Spider-Man and a little bit by Green Lantern. This book has been speculated on forever. And of course, it's a book from the Bronze Age, so it's harder to find in high grade. 9.8s, well over $500. And we'll look at the 9.8 because, that is an expensive book. It was always, let's look at $700, $800, always very expensive. And then it jumped up in the early part of the boom to $2,200, and then it reached $2,600, and it's come back. It's been sliding down ever since to the point where it's at like $1,000 now. And we compare that. So I guess it it was over $1,000 in 2019. There are 8,500 copies on the census, 500 9.8s. That's only 7% of the census, and plenty of other high grade 9s. Not really a book you're going to get graded probably below a 7, even during the comic boom, but there are some that did. Oh, there's a 1.8 and 2.5s. So there was some speculation this week. Let me pull up the news article and see what it has to say about this. We haven't started San Diego Comic-Con 2024, and we're already getting some great info on rumored projects. I don't know when Marvel's presenting at San Diego, if they're doing a full Hall H like they did several years ago when they basically announced a large portion of the slate of Phase 4, including Blade, which we haven't seen any signs of. But, WandaVision and the Marvels, and did they announce the Marvels? They kind of tease the Fantastic Four. Marvel's probably been spending the better part of the last year reorganizing and shifting focus in terms of what they want to have come out. Kevin Feige himself has confirmed that Nova is heading to a TV series featuring Richard Rider as the hero. With such little news surrounding the project, this announcement made a huge splash with the fandom. The book is back on everyone's radar as they try to secure a copy before more news is revealed. So, again, a good, solid Bronze Age key that I don't think there was much of a bump to it because people have been speculating on it for so long. And, we can see that it did hit its heights in the comic boom and has come back down. I don't know how much more room there is for people to get excited about it. So let's go to number 7 on the list, and it's Annihilation 2099, the first appearance of Red Hulk. Pretty cool cover. This is he man or monster, or is he a god? Pete Wood's first appearance, 1 in 25 variant that came out a week ago. And it's going for upwards of $100. Red Hulk hype is running rampant. Red Hulk books have been seen an uptick since Red Hulk was confirmed in the trailer for the Captain America Brave New World film. This past week, Marvel revealed the first appearance of Red Hulk 2099. Not only that, but they used the 1 in 25 retailer incentive cover to reveal the character in a tribute to the classic cover of Incredible Hulk #1. We tracked 14 copies, a 7-day growth trend to 210%, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So, I don't know. The 2099, we'll see how this holds up again. Be wary of brand new books. Let's go to number 6 on the list. I call this NYX. Sound off in the comments. Which is I don't think it's NYX, because it stands for New York X. In this reality, a section of New York City where mutants lived. So it could be either way, but I'll go with NYX. NYX number 3, the first appearance of X-23, Laura Kinney, near mint 500, 9/8, 1,000, which is crazy for a book from 2004, but it had a fairly low print run. And if we look at this book, has been, since Logan came out, a beloved book. And I mean, even like 2016, it jumped up from like a $400 book to an $800 book and a CGC 9.8. And it kind of stayed in that 800 range until the comic boom, where bam, it jumped up to 1900, and it stayed there for most of the duration of the boom, and has come back down very slowly. Now, before the boom, it was about $900, and now it's about 1,000. So it kind of has gone back to the trend line. But let's take a look at the numbers. There are 6,300 on the census, 2,400 or 38% at a 9.8. There are 599s. Spoilers. This is the last trailer, so it's a trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine. Revealed a massive spoiler for the film. It was long rumored that X-23 would return to the film. This trailer has confirmed that Logan's X-23 is back with the same actress, Daphne Keane, portraying the character. This huge reveal sent collectors back to the hunt for X-23's first appearance. I saw the trailer. Some people I know like to avoid trailers, but I saw the trailer, and when she came on, it was like, wow. I think, anticipating the film, I think that's just a little bit of what we're going to feel when we see the entire film. Now, obviously, there's more resonance there because of, her connection to Wolverine. But this Wolverine is not that Wolverine. They're making that clear in the trailers. So, the Deadpool Wolverine hype is storming ahead. But let's take a break for number 5, Doom #1. This came out now 2 months ago. 9/8 selling for about 150, raw copies for about 30. So that's cooled down a little bit. And we can see, 130 to 150. The book is selling fairly steadily. I mean, a lot of sales in this period of time. I guess collectors wanted it in a 9/8. Doom continues to trend this week. This book was an instant hit thanks to the villain's popularity. However, what kept the book on the top list was a subtle tribute to the late rapper MF Doom, and so on. So nothing much more to say about this book. We haven't said in recent weeks. And there are variants of this that are also popular, and it's moving. Let's go to number 4 on the list. Number 4 on the list is New Mutants 98, the first appearance of Deadpool. $300, $400 raw, over $1,000 in a 9/8. And if we look at the 9/8 trend over time, I pulled the 9/8 specifically. Okay. Go to 9/8. Is there a 10 in this book? A 110. Can you imagine getting a 10 on this book? Oh, holy moly. I just sent one in. Maybe it's me. No, it is not. Mine hasn't been graded yet. 12.99s. What the 99 sold for like $40,000. Anyway, if we look at the trend over time, right, we get a bump the first movie comes out, and then we get a bump during the comic boom, all the way from like $700-800 to $2,200, and it's been slowly going back to the trend line now at about $1,100-1,200 on average. We'll see what happens to this book after the film. Actually, I have 3 copies at CGC right now. One I think is a good 9/8 contender. The other 2, not so much. One is like a 9.4, 9.6. The other probably 9.2. Listen, Deadpool coming out, And another book that's getting ramped up right before the debut of Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool is set to have a significant impact on the MCU. Kevin Feige himself ranked the film just under Infinity War and Endgame in terms of how drastically it will change the MCU. There are also rumors that Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds will return for Secret Wars. I've heard those rumors for a while, along with Tobey Maguire and maybe Wesley Snipes. Maybe we'll see Wesley Snipes in this. It's crazy. This upcoming week will be a huge one for comics. Not only is the film debuting, but we also have San Diego Comic-Con back to the brim with rumored announcements. We track 37 copies sold, and the Olympics are starting. I just don't have the time. Anyway, yeah, we know what this is. It is a big one. Let's go to number 3 on the list. And if we have the first appearance of Deadpool at number 4, we have the first appearance of Wolverine at number 3, Hulk 181. From 1974, the first full appearance of Wolverine. Thousands of dollars for this book. And I tracked historical sales in the most commonly sold. And this is going to be graded in all grades. There is a 9.9. The most common grade is a 7.5, which is what I have in my personal collection. So I like to track the sales of this 7.5. When I got the raw collection that included that book, it was worth about that much, $7,800, and it has trended back towards the trend line. But I mean, pre-comic boom, what if we go to the end of 3,600 in November 2020, 4,300 in December 2020, and now it's at just about come back down to that. So it's actually might have overcorrected just a little bit. An ever popular character. This is going to be a key regardless. I mean, it is getting the needle moved a little bit by the film news, but it's not, it's still going to be a key. I mean, the movie's going to come and go, and this book is not going to be dropped precipitously. At least I don't think so. Because everybody wants a copy of this. Every comic book collector that has Marvel Silver Age or Bronze Age, Silver Age, they want first appearance of Wolverine. Myself included. Like, I bought that big collection. I'm pretty sure I sold enough from the collection to break even, and I have that for free. That's kind of the way that works. I think it's like a seminal collectible. It's the biggest book of the Bronze Age, at least in terms of mainstream comics. So, yeah, a huge book. And if we look at the description for number 3, while none of the trailers have shown the green behemoth, there are rumors that a brief fight scene might show Wolverine versus the Hulk. It would be every fan's dream to see the comic cover appear in live action. However, this book's significance is more than the book. It's also much debated first appearance of Wolverine, with so many rumors surrounding Wolverine's staying power in the MCU. Fans are picking up this book just in case it's not a one-off appearance. I said, would it not be cool? Let me know in the comments what you think. That we get a scene, because God knows how many cameos we're getting. A scene of Wolverine versus Lou Ferrigno Hulk. Maybe Eric Bana Hulk. Who knows? I don't know if we're going to see Mark Ruffalo, and I know I won't be prepared for post-credit sequences. Like, my mind's just going to be blown. I can't. I'm really looking forward to this movie. So let's go to number 2 on the list. And number 2 on the list is, well, if you had first appearance of Deadpool, first appearance of Wolverine, their first meeting in Wolverine 88. This is a book from 1994. I just sold a copy of this the other day. Unfortunately, it was like the one book in the box of the collection I got that was crunched on the bottom. It was like L-shaped. So it was probably going to be like an 8.5. Sold it raw. Anyway, time to sell it. Near mint copies, upwards of $100, and there's a pretty big jump. I mean, look at this: 9.0 to 9.6, a lot of price compression. It's from 9.0 to 9.6, it's between $150 $180, and then you jump up more than double to the 9.8. And if we look at the historical value of the 9.8, right? Yeah, okay, it's great, $100 book, 52, and then Comic Boom, $750. It cools down. It goes all the way down to $232, and then Deadpool Wolverine it jumps up to $600, and it's kind of maintained like a $300 to $400 value in a 9.8. If we look at the census here on Go Collect, 2,891 copies, universal copies on the census. 22% of the 9.8. There are more 9.6s than 9.8s, and almost as many 9.4s as 9.8s. Part of the reason for that, and I've said this before, dark cover, and there is a cardboard insert underneath the cover that is difficult to press. I was not able to press it out no matter what I tried. I think it does just kind of tend, if the book's rubbing against anything, to affect the color of the ink. So I got like a 9.4, the one that I've submitted. I do have one in my personal collection. I don't know what that looks like. Haven't got to that yet. So we take a look at what number 2 on the list is. With only a few days left before the debut of Deadpool, we're seeing fans make one last big push for iconic books. This one marks the first meeting of Wolverine and Deadpool and their first fight. While this week's fight won't be the first time Ryan Reynolds Deadpool has met Jackman's Wolverine, we don't count X-Men Origins. Therefore, fans are picking up this book in anticipation of the real first-time battle between the two mutants. Let's go to number 1 on the list, and it doesn't really, and it is related. It is Deadpool Merc with a Mouth, number 7, first appearance of Lady Deadpool. Could the Taylor Swift hype shifted from Dazzler to Lady Deadpool? Who knows? And if we look at this book at a 9.8, it at one point jumped all the way up to $700 in the boom, and it's kind of maintained its price, and it's been ticking up slowly but surely for the last year, right? Like from here, $350 to about $392, $400. And fans love it. I just actually sold a 9.6 for $225. Why does it keep doing that? That's also there are other Deadpool variants who have first appearances in this book, and it's a nice wraparound cover that is an homage to the film, the poster of the film Trainspotting. And I just sold $225. Right? Somebody sold for $325, $228, $300. So somebody got a bargain from me, but I didn't really want to push it because I do have another one out at CGC. Hopefully that'll come back in time for it to still be popular. And let's look at the description here. The hype for Lady Deadpool is taking over. What started with a tease of her boots has slowly worked its way up to show the entire character in the latest trailer. The character looks great, looking as if she was ripped straight out of the comic book. The only question that remains is, who is behind the mask? Some diehard fans still maintain the theory that it is Taylor Swift. Others have jumped over to Blake Lively. Meanwhile, other fans are hoping that it is a comedic take of just Ryan Reynolds in a blonde wig. We don't have to wait much longer to find out. 36 hours. Okay. And that does the top 10 list. Let's take a quick look at 11 through 20. 11, Captain America 25, first appearance of Sam Wilson as Captain America. Ain't No Grave number 3 is Scotty Young cover. Star Wars number 1, always a hockey. All New Wolverine number 1. This is her first appearance in continuity. Her first appearance in costume. Witchblade number 1, a J. Scott Campbell 1 in 50 variant. Spawn number 1, why not? Watchmen number 1. The animated film releases in August. Now that's pretty soon. Fantastic 494, first appearance of Agatha Harkness. We're getting the movie real soon. People excited for X-Men or just like jumping on with that 9.9 that just sold. Giant Size X-Men number 1, first appearance of Nightcrawler, Storm, and Colossus, and Thunderbird, and the first appearance of the team. And then 20, Captain America 117, the first appearance of Sam Wilson as Falcon. So that's going to do it for the top 10 cover price video this week. You can take a look at my other videos here. Leave a comment down below. And this is Jim saying until next time. And next week with San Diego Comic-Con could be insane. Until next time, enjoy your comics.